Are you ready? I sure am. I have a brand new pistol to share, and this isn't just another compact 9mm, it is packed with smart features, some you might miss at first glance. My name is Julie Golob. I am a pro shooter for Springfield Armory. Woohoo! Thanks for joining me on this one. The Springfield Armory Echelon made waves when it launched back in July of 2023, and the newest model builds on the line. This is the Echelon 4.0C Comp, a compact compensated pistol built for serious users. Every detail matters, and I'm going to share how this model is so thoughtfully designed. So let's talk size, and right off the bat, you know what you're looking at in the name. Echelon 4.0C Comp. Echelon is the product name, the number 4 indicates the barrel length, and then C stands for compact. Comp is short for compensator. Super simple, clear. You know exactly what the pistol is right in the name. I have two other echelons, the 4.5F, F for full size, the 4.0C, and now this one, the 4.0C Comp. All these pistols are feature packed. I'll leave a link to Springfield's video as well, and I have to say, I'm just so impressed because, again, it is so thoughtful. Though I'm gonna focus on the 4.0C Comp for this video, know that aside from being compensated in the barrel length, these features are found across the board, whether you're looking at that full size or compact options. So let's start with the top end. Black melanite finish on both the slide and barrel. As I said before, this is a 4-inch barrel. It's hammer forged steel with a 1 in 10 twist. You have nice, usable serrations, and these are incorporated completely throughout the slide, both the front and the back. They look great, but more importantly is the usability and specific topography of these serrations. This isn't a case of making some cuts for looks or to check a box. The valleys and the ridges are intentional and useful, especially with gloves, if your hands are wet, or if you have hand strength issues. A lot of times it's not just spring tension that makes racking a slide a challenge, but also how difficult it is to get a good grip on the slide without your hand slipping off. In fact, for those of you who struggle with working the slide, the Echelon may just solve that issue for you. Aside from the ridges and the valleys that are commonplace, you see them on slides everywhere, right? Springfield has incorporated a flare along the back of the slide and added additional contour forward of the ejection port. The flare at the back and that trench at the front serve as catch points, helping to keep your hand in place, preventing slippage. So whether you like to rack from the back or the front, you can maintain your purchase on the slide better. All right, now, in August, we're in yet another heat wave here in Kansas City, and with sweaty hands, gun manipulations can become more challenging. These high points make it that much easier to grasp the slide. And as we move into colder months when you may wear gloves, the slide topography makes working the slide, again, that much easier. That pronounced flare at the rear also widens up the back of the slide as you present the pistol to target. And visually, when adding an optic, it looks like it just belongs there. It's not just a red dot hanging out on the back of the slide, and that's a segue. For so long, to truly get a sturdy, tight fit for an optics-ready pistol, the best option would be to have the slide milled for the specific red dot of choice. This avoids the need for sealing plates or having the dot sit high along the top of the slide. Milling also means you've limited yourself to a specific brand or even optic for that matter. For Springfield, the solution wasn't to add crazy tall sights or plates, and instead of retrofitting an existing model to be optics ready, Springfield designed the Echelon to be an optics ready gun right out of the box, where the red dot is situated low on the slide with the potential to co-witness, and most importantly, with a secure fit. Enter the VIS. Variable Interface System, a patent-pending red dot sight mounting system It allows popular red dot sights to mount directly to the slide, much like a gunsmith would mill a slide, without any type of adapter plate system that can shift or jiggle around. The Echelon slide is set up to utilize 3 popular mounting standards. I shoot for Trijicon, and the Echelon has that covered with the RMR footprint. I will be adding a red dot to mine. I have lots of options to choose from: the RMR, the RMR HD, an RCR even, or even an SRO. I got choices, which is great. The magic of the Viz happens at the front of where the optic sits. It's not just a matter of using the screws to tighten the dot to the slide. The Viz also incorporates self-locking pins at the front of the base of the sight. It's like having your slide milled, while giving you the freedom to switch optic brands and irons for that matter too. Installation is covered in the owner's manual. You can scan the QR code in the box or just head over to springfieldarmory.com, and then to the support section, you have the option to sign in, or you can scroll down to manuals, select it, and then choose your firearm. In this case, I'm clicking the Echelon and boom. There you have not just a PDF, but a visually enhanced layout and menu system to help you find the information you want. There are also videos that you can watch to make learning your firearm that much easier, all in one spot, and searchable. You don't have to get sucked into searching YouTube or dig through a website or scroll through a weirdly dimensioned PDF version of the manual on a screen. It's all right there and printable too. Okay, back to the slide. The loaded chamber indicator is located on the right side of the slide. For the irons that come on the pistol, right out of the box, we have a tritium front sight with a U-shaped rear, the Tactical Rack U-Dot rear sight. This is a defensive sight, and the front and rear combo makes for a fast sight picture. That green front sight in daylight is easy to pick up with your eyes, and you just naturally want to center and nestle that green dot right into the U shape of the rear. The same goes for tritium and low and no light conditions. The front sight is also situated behind the port on the end of the slide. That's a good thing. I'll talk more about the compensator in a bit, but let's just keep moving down to the bottom end of the pistol, shall we? More user-focused integration here. Let's begin with the texture. The texture doesn't feel rough as you run your fingers over it, but when you start to put the squeeze on the grip, it gets grippy with an ideal amount to keep my hands from slipping around. This texture wraps all the way around the entire grip under the magazine release button. This is great because no matter your hand size or your finger length, you still have access to texture all over the grip. Something I very much appreciate is the grip itself. The bottom end of the pistol is built around the cog, the central operating group. That's also where the serial number is, which means that the grip module is removable and can be swapped out with 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large grips. Along with that, there are 3 different backstrap sizes. I have the small grip and the smallest backstrap on mine, and it is super simple to swap these backstraps out, allowing you to find that sweet spot for ideal trigger reach for you and the best fit for you for better recoil control. The user is able to tailor fit the grip module on their pistol to their hands. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to share more about finding that ideal grip size. The texture is also strategically applied elsewhere. You can feel it in the mag button, the area between the slide and the mag release. There is a little bit of texture on the bottom of the standard mag and on the 18-round magazine. It's along the front of the square trigger guard, so for those who like to hook your finger around the trigger guard, the dimensions of it and that texture help maintain that grip. There's also texture under the trigger guard, another index point for your support hand. Finally, this last bit of texture I think is very cool. On the frame, there's a gentle but effective ledge. You'll sometimes see texture in this general area on various handguns, and it's useful especially for people who are learning and maintaining a high thumbs forward grip where the support hand is canted forward. For pistols without texture, a simple fix is to put a bit of grip or step tape onto the frame itself as an index point for that thumb. That's a quick, less permanent fix, but the Echelon takes it to the next level by molding the shape of the frame in a way that there's a built-in thumb rest. This is something you find on both sides of the pistol. A right-handed shooter is going to have a little bit more surface texture where the support hand thumb also lies on the takedown lever compared to the right side of the pistol for lefties, but it's there on both sides. Now, speaking of lefties, if you're left-handed and you haven't checked out the Echelon yet, you need to. This is a left-hand friendly firearm. The magazine release is ambidextrous, not reversible, but ambidextrous, meaning you can access it from either side. The profile of the grip has your firing hand situated in a way so that the middle finger sits underneath the mag button. If for some reason you could only use your non-dominant hand to manipulate this firearm, this button design makes it easy to do so. The other huge lefty-friendly control is the slide stop or slide release. I love this slide stop. I have really struggled being able to use the slide stop on a lot of pistols, whether it's because of it being harder to access due to my tiny little thumbs or being super stiff, making it impossible to use without changing my grip or forcing me to use my support hand thumb. The Echelon slide is officially awesome in my book. If you have shorter thumbs and you have these same issues, take a look at this pistol. The profile of the slide stop is pronounced enough that you notice if you're riding it, and it has enough of a ledge to make it usable, but it isn't huge either. So I love it. Now, ergonomically speaking, under the trigger guard, the frame is shaped to get your fingers as high on the grip as possible. This, combined with the grip angle, makes it that much easier to choke up on the back of the grip. That translates to better recoil control and doesn't feel like the slide is reciprocating over the top of your hand and you're just like hanging on for the ride. Being a compact, it has this shorter grip for easier concealment. Springfield stats on the width of the grip have it come in at 1.2 inches. Magazine capacity with the flush fit mag is 15+1. Now what's cool about the extended mag is that instead of just a 17 rounder, they managed to squeeze another round into the pistol. So you have an 18 rounder. Texture throughout the base pad takes it from compact to full size in feel. Now, with my hand size, I don't have a large enough palm to really feel that base pad, but if you have larger mitts and digits, you will appreciate it. Onto the trigger. There's the trigger safety on the front of the trigger, and then internally, the cog features a secondary sear. It has also been tested to exceed semi-drop test parameters. Good thing, right? Weighing this on my Wheeler trigger gauge, it averages right at 5 pounds, 3 ounces. This is a suitable weight for duty style carry and defensive pistols. You have a clean take up at the front before you hit that wall and begin to apply that pressure, and then it breaks. Reset is both positive and firm. I can feel it pressing my finger forward. You get that click point that you feel here and then press again. I really enjoy the feel of this trigger. It is not mushy or inconsistent. Published weights from the factory are 24 ounces with a 15 round mag and add an ounce with the extended magazine. Loading mine up with Federal 147 grain HST with 15+1, it comes in at 32 ounces even. With 18+1, it's 34.2 ounces. Of course, adding a red dot, that's going to bump up the weight some. Now, the fun part. Let's talk about the comp. It is a generous port in the barrel and the slide that's designed to redirect that gas upward to reduce how much flip you feel in the hands. Now, this is a 9mm pistol, so you're not going to see or feel as dramatic a reduction in muzzle rise as you would with, say, Hot 38 Super Comp 40 or 10mm, but it's still noticeable. And the softer your ammo will also make a difference, like soft shooting target loads compared to personal defense ammo. So to illustrate how different loads and grain weights feel, I have American Eagle 147 grain ammo. This is something I've shot at USPSA matches for many years. I have 124 grain American Eagle. These are jacketed brown nose bullets. And then finally some 115s. This is Federal's Syntech, that striking red polymer coated bullet. Now on to some hotter stuff. I'm going to show you some 147 grain Federal Syntech training match. This matches the power of HST defensive ammo. I also have some 124 grain HST and 115 grain train and protect. And of course, huge thank you and shout out to Federal Ammunition for their support. Love them. I'll put some reels and shorts out with more layered comparisons between these different rounds, so watch for those. But for this video, I want to share side-by-side footage of the 4.0C and the 4.0C comp with 147 grain Syntech training match. Again, that's the same feel as HST, and that's so you can see the difference in recoil impulse between the two comped and no comped versions. As you can see, the comp is working, and from my viewpoint behind the sights, the recovery is faster. I really notice it shooting one-handed. I like the balance of the pistol. The weight sits nicely in my hands. Having smaller hands, being able to get high up on the back of the grip makes it that much easier for me to control. I feel I'm able to drive the pistol from target to target. The mags are tapered nicely, making it load nice and easy. All these extra details make it a great shooter. MSRP is $749. In the box, you get a very nice little gun rug. Those two mags I talked about earlier, plus the ability to convert your 15-round mag to an 18-rounder, a cable lock, all your Viz Optics accessories, a load assist that your thumbs will thank you for one day, the 2 additional back straps, and the envelope warranty and registration details, instructions on where to access the manual, and this nice sticker. The Echelon 4.0C comp checks so many boxes, especially if you're in the hunt for a compact size pistol with porting. It's packed with so many thoughtful and useful features that eliminate the compromises so many of us have to make as individual shooters. All these little things add up and can make a massive difference in how much you have to work to shoot a firearm well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Over the next several weeks, I'll be spending my time with the 4.5F. I am shooting it in production optics in action pistol matches. I am very excited about that. Just in case you missed my last video on switching to Springfield, I will pop that up on the screen. As always, drop your questions below. Hit that like if you enjoyed the video, and please consider subscribing. As I'm filming this video, I am so very close to 50K, and maybe you'll be the one to push me over the edge. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching, and until the next one, be safe, have fun, and live your life fully loaded. And check out the new Echelon.